Hey guys, Nova Joe here, and as promised, we're going to be taking a look at the Air Raider today. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the Air Raider, this is going to be the video that will help you to better understand his purpose, how to use him in a group, and how to use him solo. Well, actually, the solo part's going to be in a different video, but this one's going to be a video about the main purpose of the Air Raider, which is as support. That is the main function of him. He can be used solo and he can be used effectively. It can be difficult, but his main purpose in this game is as support. So to start out, what you're going to want to do, and guys, this isn't the end all be all of how to play this game. This is the way I like to do it. So looking at support, the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that while playing support, you do have at least one weapon that you can use to defend yourself with. And for that, I chose to go with a gunship. And this one allows me to fire 20 beacons. Each beacon will call in a blast from the gunship. And now, as you can see here, I'm using the higher powered weaponry. But the purpose of this is not to show off high powered weaponry, because the truth is the strategy is still the same. Regardless of what level weapon you have, you're going to want to have a weapon that you can use to defend yourself with, and then you're going to want to have weapons that you can use for support, like if you're getting overwhelmed, and you're going to want some kind of support to assist your troops with. And there's a whole different number of setups, and so for this setup I went with the 150 millimeter cannon, a gunship. I went with a gunship. It doesn't matter what level it is. I went with a gunship because you can call them in and pinpoint where you want that to go. Now just be careful, because some of these have a blast radius, and if you're in that blast radius, it can be game over. And with some of these, if the enemy is right in your face, it can be game over as well. So you can choose to go with the gunship, or some people might prefer to go with a limpet gun, and a perfectly viable option. Some would prefer to go with a stationary gun, such as a flamethrower, or machine gun, rocket launcher. I don't recommend using the flamethrower or the rocket launching turrets. That's what these are. These are automated turrets, because they can get you killed. And the machine gun, if you're getting hit with it, you can at least move out of the way. But there is a time and a purpose for the flamethrower and for the machine gun, or for the rocket launcher, and that's when you get more proficient with the Air Raider. So you have some options here for personal defense. But like I said, you're playing support, so you have to also take into consideration your teammates. You don't want to get them caught in the crossfire of a automated turret, because while it will designate an enemy and focus on that enemy, if you walk in front of it, or your teammate walks in front of it in the midst of a battle, they're going to take some damage. And so it can be a point of contention. So, and that goes with the gunship as well. You just got to be careful where you place it. But for this battle, I am going to use the 150 millimeter cannon gunship, just so I can defend myself if I see them starting to get a tad too close. Next up, I picked the heavy bomber Phobos Z Plan 4, which is a bomber. You request a bomber. And the reason I picked that is, first off, the Air Raider is the only one who can call in bombers. And so the purpose here is to kill a lot of enemies very quickly over a broad area. And so that's why I picked I picked the heavy bomber Phobos, because, and there's a whole slew of them, but the bombers can clear out a large number of enemies in a very quick manner. But like I said, you have to be careful, and your teammates have to work with you too, because they have to understand what your purpose is. And a lot of times when you're playing online with others, they're playing for themselves. They're really playing solo. They're not playing as a team. And it's going to be sometimes hard for you to call in a bomber, but if you're working with a good coordinated team and you let them know you're going to call in a bomber, they'll be able to see the markings on the ground. You can give them a chance to get out of the way before you release that trigger. So That's my crowd clearer. Now, this is an option here for boosting the troops. This works for AI troops as well as when you're playing online with others or in split screen. These are power posts. This one increases your attack damage. You have a guard post, which increases your defense. You have these options here where you can decide what you want to do. Do you want to boost their damage output? Do you want to boost their defense? It all depends on the mission and the situation. For this one, we're just going to go with the power post. This is a way for you to assist your teammates and give them a leg up on the competition, especially if you're playing on some of the harder difficulties. And then lastly, this vehicle is invaluable on the harder difficulties when you're going up against some of the bosses or even against some of the just the lesser enemies, but on the harder difficulties they can really do some damage to you. And this is I picked the ground vehicle Caliban support vehicle S Turbo, and the reason I picked this is because if you take damage, your teammates can jump in the back of it and recover. Now, I just picked this one. Like I said, I'm just picking the high level ones because that's what I have and that's what I've been using right now. But there are lesser ones. So if you're just starting out, well, here's a Caliban support vehicle level 6 that will rejuvenate up to 1,200 points of health. So this vehicle right here is basically the medic station. Your teammates can't get to the health pack because the enemies are coming in. They can run and jump in the back of this vehicle. Now there's two ways to work with this vehicle. You can either choose to drive around to the teammates and let them jump in the back, or you can sometimes put it in a bit of a protected area and everybody will know where it's at and they can haul booty over to it to jump in the back. But sometimes it's best if you got a teammate down to have it nearby so you yourself can jump in it, drive over to them, revive them, then both of you jump into the back, refill your health, and then continue the battle. So that's the setup for the support type setting here. Is basically, sorry I'm stuttering over my words here, but basically this video is going to show you how to work with a team. Alright, let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, we are actually playing on mission 20, and what I want to do here is show you, or just treat this like these are teammates online. I mean, they're AI and you do want to protect them too, but just act like these are your teammates online. So first thing I like to do is give them a helping hand. So you can place a power post down and you can place them on vehicles. So as you can see, this vehicle's moving here. Place a power post down, and wherever it goes, the power post will go too. Now, what this does is it will boost their strength so that their shots are more powerful, and on the higher difficulties this is invaluable. Now, the power posts can be reloaded, so just be careful. Sometimes they take a while to reload, so be careful not to reload them. And then, as you can see here, got a whole bunch of enemies. So, what I want to do is try to clear these out. If I drop it right here, it's going to hit my teammates. If I do it right out here, my teammates are safe. So you just let that down, and it will clear out a bunch of the enemies. Alright, now that's how you support your team. Clear out a bunch of the enemies as best you can. Now, not all airstrikes are created equal. So this is just me showing you a air raider being effective in battle. An air raider can be ineffective if you don't go in with the right loadout. Now, as you can see here, we managed to clear out all of those because the bombers took out the vast majority very quickly. And this can be invaluable when playing on some of these harder difficulty missions. Now, the next thing you want to do is go ahead. As you can see, that power post is still working. But these guys down here don't have anything. However, they're actually moving on me, so I'll still put another power post down. But I'm a little leery here because the ants are getting close. So I'm going to try to clear some of these out with my personal weapon. As you can see here, it does a pretty good job, but there's too many of them. It's calling an airstrike. Make sure that they're out of the way. Alright, enemies are coming upon us. Teammates are moving down the beach, so you move with them. Stick with your group. You don't want to be a lone man when playing the air raider, unless you get the right setup. Alright, now, they're still backing up here. Alright, I'm going to try to set down another power post over here to boost these guys, because we got a whole bunch coming at us. Alright, now, get a little close. Call another airstrike if you have one available. Here we go, another airstrike coming in. And we got some right here, so use your personal defense weapon that you have. Make sure you have a good one. Make sure you have one that works for the situation. Alright, so the one I got here is pretty potent, and like I said, based on your difficulty level that you're playing at, you can find some that will work for your situation. So you don't have to have the most powerful like I have here to get through. If you're playing on easy, you can have some of the lesser powered weapons, and they will work just as well. Alright, now let's say we got some injured guys. Alright, so I'm throwing out my Caliban support vehicle. Now, nobody has to be driving for this vehicle to be effective. Nobody has to be driving at all. All you have to do is just let it sit in one place, and the enemies, or the allies, will go and climb in the back if they need to, and if you got one down, you drive over and revive them, and then both you get in the back to refill your health. Now, AI teammates will not jump in the back of this, but your teammates will. Your real-life teammates will if they're smart. So, let's just say we got some that are down. You would just jump in, and it doesn't heal you when you're in the front of it, it only heals you when you're in the back. And you just drive over to where they're at, revive them, and then both of you, since once you revive them, as you know, your health will be cut in half. Both of you hop in the back, sit down for a second, you'll see your health revive, and voila, you're done. Now, the enemies will attack this vehicle, and they will blow it up. So try to keep it in a place that will allow you to keep the enemy away from them for as long time as possible. Alright, if your bomber is full again, then go ahead and try to clear out some of these enemies before they get down here to your teammates. Do everything you can to assist your teammates, whether it be in killing, in boosting them with enhancements, whether it be power or defense, and be ready to heal them with your medic vehicle. Oh, we got a bunch coming in over here. We got some guys who could probably use a little boost to strength, so let's go ahead and a boost to their attack power. Drop another power post there. Now they're going to do more damage. Get your personal weapon out if you've got one, and try to drive them back a little bit. But like I said, call in that bomber if needs be. And you can turn the bomber. You can turn it with the right analog stick. Turn it how you want. Keep it out of the range of your teammates. And as long as they're not in the red, they'll be okay. And here we go. Alright, as you can see, we have thinned that number out. We got a bunch coming over here. So do everything you can. Now there's some guys pretty close, so you might not want to call in a bomber right there. Unless you just don't care about your AI guys. And sometimes you don't want to care about your AI guys. Now be careful with these gunships, because sometimes if somebody walks in front of you, you can tag them. And sometimes these gunships have a very fast attack speed, and that shot will be called in a split second. Like, watch this. Fired, boom. You hit about half a second to get out of the way. Alright, we've just about thinned that number out. Now another thing is, sometimes you'll have enemies coming up over the hillside. You might not be able to see them. And the air raider has the ability, when you hold down your R2 button, it will give you a bird's eye view so you can see where the enemies are better. Always keep a lookout. I can't say this enough. Keep a lookout for your teammates when dropping a bomb. Make sure they are not in the blast zone. Alright, power posts have run out, so got to let them fill, and thankfully they will refill in the background. The bomber requires kills. So like this bomber here takes quite a few kills to reload. So just make sure to read the description on the bomber or gunship, whichever one you're wanting to try out, and see what it takes to reload it. Some reload over time, some reload by kills. It's just all depends on which one it is. Alright, we got an enemy that's way out there, and my heavy bomber actually can't reach him. So this is a time for you to, your teammates, like if your teammates were here, they'd get in the vehicle and head on over there and pick them off. But actually, there he is. Got him. Alright, I hope this video has been helpful in helping you understand the purpose of the aerator when playing the role of support. It is invaluable for you to go in with either a power post or a guard post, some kind of medical vehicle, and just be prepared to assist your teammates. When you're playing the role of support, if that's what you're trying to do, always think about your teammates. What can I do to assist them in this mission? Now, sometimes it's going to be hard if you're not familiar with the mission to know exactly what to take in, so communicate with your teammates if you have a good group. If not, you can always bank on the fact that power posts are going to be helpful, guard posts are going to be helpful. Sometimes it's invaluable to take in some of your defense screens that you can set up to block enemy attacks. In certain missions, like cave missions, are invaluable for those because there'll be a defensive wall you can set up. There's numerous different things that you can do. And what I'll probably try to do is do different types of missions with the aerator and show you the best setup for them. But this one is a good one for open environment. A medical vehicle, a bomber, as well as a guard post or a power post to assist your teammate, and a personal defense weapon, because there's going to be some times where one of them is going to get in your face. Now, if you have good teammates, they'll be watching out for you, but you got to protect yourself, cover yourself sometimes too. So, alright, this was, like I said, this is just one method. There are many others, but this is one that I think is very valuable and especially good for a person who is wanting to play the support role for the first time and wants to go out there and try to be helpful to their teammates. So, alright guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, comment down below with some ideas that you all have. And if you're new to the channel and like what you see, please feel free to subscribe. Would love to have you. I'm getting close to that 1,000 subscriber mark, and I'd appreciate if you all wanted to jump on board. So, alright guys, as always, take care, God bless, and keep on gaming.